We just put out the most comprehensive sample pack collection ever released for UK Garage, and I'll show you why you absolutely need it in your arsenal if you're producing this genre, taking over the scene by storm. From the 300 Serum 2 and Vital presets to the project files and thousands of other tools we included, we made sure you'll have everything you need to thrive in the modern and classic styles of UKG. So let's hop into the UK Garage production suite and I'll show you firsthand what makes these packs so insanely powerful. Starting off, I want to run you through some of the project files that are included to give you a good example of how diverse we made this pack and how many styles we were able to cover with it. We wanted to include a wide array of styles that all fall under the UKG genre. From heavier bass UKG like MPH or Hamdi to the styles that are taking over the scene by storm from Sammy Virji, Notion, and In Parallel. We wanted to make sure we included all the different styles and have you covered for all the different styles you may produce. We have the more techier, classic UKG sounds with really dope sound design. And all the basses that you guys are going to be hearing in these are the Serum presets that we included out of the box. Very minimal processing, as you can see. We typically only process using some slight EQ and compression. So everything that you're hearing is very similar to what you're going to be getting out of the box. We have tons of those like classic sustained foghorns that you hear in a lot of UKG. A lot of really nice kind of deep sine wobble stuff. And of course, in every Serum 2 preset, we have a ton of these macros that allow you to kind of customize and blend these presets into whatever song you're working on, kind of put your own twist on them. And plus, you'll be able to automate all those macros to kind of evolve the sounds throughout your track too. So with the macros, we're able to take the sound from this, and then in kind of the B section of the drop, automate the speed, some other macros. So it's really nice to kind of make sure that your tracks are able to evolve off of a preset that might spark some inspiration for you. There's just so much insane innovative sound design in here too, stuff that you're not used to hearing that might spark inspiration for something more unique. Tons of those grotty UKG sounds as well. And of course, we also included that more bassy, almost 140 style of UKG that's popping off right now as well. Really sound design heavy stuff here. And all these sounds are really easy to kind of use in that like 4x4 style of UKG as well. That kind of fits whether you want those more like breaky, almost dubsteppy drums, or if you want to go with that classic 4x4 style of UKG. A lot of this stuff is gonna fit really nicely. Tons of those super nice kind of single note press airy kind of wub sounds. A lot of variation sounds that go really well together. The sustains in these are so sick, man. Super nice kind of fill sustains too. Love these little kind of like fill wubs too. Super nice to slot in and just bring more kind of creativity to your tracks. Of course, tons of those more sound design heavy sustains and screams. So sick to have. And all the presets that you're going to hear through these project files are a very, very small glimpse into all the different styles that we made sure to include. Anything that you're hearing in these project files, there's tons of other stuff like it, so don't be worried that we only use the good presets here. We made sure that all the presets and samples we included meet an extremely high standard of quality. We didn't want any filler content in this, only stuff that's going to be ready to be thrown into tracks and is going to sound good right off the bat to make sure that your workflow can stay consistent and fast. So Notion has created a style for himself that has really brought modern UKG to life, and we wanted to make sure we included a ton of stuff from that sound in this pack. There's not a lot of packs out there that give you these types of presets and this kind of style in a pack, and so we wanted to make sure this was filled with tons of cool stuff like this. You get those nasty kind of 7/3s that everybody's been talking about with these Notion style tracks. So sick. And plus we also added a bunch of like layers to easily kind of throw over top of them as well. Throw those together. And of course, we'll get into this a little bit more later, but we included tons of vocals, vocal chops. It's really become a core part of pretty much every UKG sound, whether it's the more like modern, trendy kind of Notion style stuff or the more classic UKG breaky kind of stuff. Vocals are a huge part of this genre. We had tons of insane vocal chops, insane vocal effects, stuff that just give you that extra touch to really push your tracks forward. Another style that's classic to that UKG sound is kind of the minimal 4x4 house vibes. We included a ton of stuff for this as well. I've struggled a ton to find packs that have these types of kind of like classic chord and piano stabs in them. And to have these in Serum 2 preset form to customize and make unique to you is huge, I think. Super sick to have these. And of course, all the drums that you're hearing in these project files are all one-shots from the pack. We wanted to make sure that the drums in this lived up to that UKG standard of drums and made sure that the drums we got produced are all top of the line, ready out of the box, super, super clean. It's hard to find quality drums for this genre, and we made sure to include a ton of them. And the key presets in this pack are so insane as well. Yo, check this. And every Serum 2 preset that you're going to get in this pack has been made from the ground up in Serum 2. Nothing has been repurposed from Serum 1, and we made sure to use all the new features of Serum 2. All the presets are going to have clips as well, which is going to give you a great example of how these presets should be used in context. They're going to come with these MIDI clips that you can actually drag into your piano roll in FL. And all the clips are also going to have tons of automation built into the clips as well, so that you can understand how you should be automating different parameters and different macros in the preset to give the preset life, make it interesting, and make it fit whatever track you're working on. These are also great because if you're going through presets trying to find a preset that might fit your track, you can listen to these clips, understand the context it's used in, and be able to go, is this going to fit in the context of my track? And it's a great way to learn how to kind of get the most out of these presets, and it's super sick to have. Something that we added to the UKG MIDI pack that everybody's been enjoying in our releases recently are these drop MIDI kits. We of course included tons of intro melody kits, which are complete melodies with all the MIDI and stems. But on top of that, we also included these drop MIDI kits, which are super fun. You have over 20 of them, and essentially what they are, FL doesn't show Serum 2 presets in the Explorer for some reason, so I'm going to show you in my File Explorer. But essentially what they are is every single one of these comes with 3 MIDI layers and 3 corresponding Serum 2 presets. We made these to kind of help you get ideas flowing. Maybe you're working on a remix, maybe you have a really cool intro going, but you can't get an idea for a drop. So you can go into these drop kits, grab the MIDI from them, grab the presets from them, and quickly have an idea going to then customize, make your own, change the sounds, change the MIDI, and fit, whatever track you're working on. Or if you're a newer producer to this sound and you're trying to learn how these flows should work, how the different call and responses should work in UKG, you can quickly kind of throw these into your project, get a little idea going, and kind of build off of it to make it unique as you become more experienced as a producer. These are really set up to just help you get ideas going and help you kind of build on what you might already have. So for instance, this drop MIDI kit came with 4 Serum presets and 4 MIDI layers. So I created 4 instances of Serum 2 and I dragged the MIDI in. You can see I have the MIDI for each one of my different layers here. And I dragged each layers of MIDI in, dragged in the corresponding preset for that MIDI, and you have a dope little drop idea going. And we made sure all these drop MIDI kits work with that 4x4 style of UKG drums, as well as the more kind of breakbeat style of UKG drums as well. And we made a bunch of them. Like I said, you have over 20, so you can do kind of different styles, different combinations. It's super, super fun to work on. We can go through a few more here. So drag in our MIDI, and then drag in the corresponding presets, and then see if we like it. It's a great example of showing you how powerful these presets are out of the box, as well as, helping get ideas going for whatever track you're working on. Super sick one here. And the cool thing about these is, say you have a MIDI that you really like, or maybe it fits your track that you're working on, customize it a little bit, then you can just kind of go through the different presets that you get and, find something that's a bit more unique or might fit whatever track you're working on a little bit more. So this one, for instance, had a really cool sound to it, but switch out this preset and now you have kind of a unique sound on it. And then of course, because all these are MIDI, you have total customization over them. Fit whatever key the track is that you're working on is and, you know, customize them. And then, you know, say you have this kind of sound, maybe you're not a big fan of it, swap it out, super easy. We have the MIDI for it, I like it, but let's find a different sound, maybe write some new MIDI for it. So a big thing with all the drum loops that we added in the main pack and the drum loops folder that you get in here are these drum loop kits. Always stem all of our drum loops to make sure that you're able to pick and pull different parts. I hate finding a SIG drum loop that I really like, but having a certain element of it that I don't like or I want to customize and not having the flexibility to do that and just having one solid like master loops bounce. We make sure to eliminate that, but every drum loop that you're going to get is going to be stemmed as well. So if we find drum kit 6 here, you can pull all the different beats of those from all the different stems that we have here. So now we have that entire drum loop, but we have all the stems to it. Or if you have your own drum loop that you've built off of, you know, the one-shots, for instance, you can kind of pick and pull different parts. Say you want some more percussion, you can find tons of percussion loops and just kind of add on to them. And then maybe I kind of like this percussion a little bit more, so delete the original percussion. And then, you know, you have something really dope. It's super nice to have to, once again, kind of add a little bit of extra flair to the drums that you've written for your track or kind of learn how these different drum flows should be. We also have tons of, you know, 4x4 patterns as well. So yeah, if you have an idea going, you can kind of quickly feel out what style of drums might go well for yours and then, you know, build out your own with all the drum one-shots or use the kit, the stems and, you know, have something sick. Or if you hear an element from, you know, one of the other drum loops that you might like, you can, you know, quickly pull it. So just quickly replace the hats of that old drum loop we had with the new hats. So now we kind of have an original flow and kind of an original drum loop that I think fits this idea a little bit more. And of course, all the drums that you're hearing in these kits were all made from the one-shots. So if you're not somebody who likes to use drum loops and you just like to make all of your own drums, then, you know, you have all the shots from these. So to give you an idea of, you know, the quality of the drums that you're going to be getting in the one-shot form, these loops are a great idea to kind of find the drums that you might like as well. We've included a ridiculous amount of drums in here. All of them are insanely clean and ready out of the box. So we really wanted to make sure we nailed the drum style for UKG, as that's a huge part of this genre. And I think we did a very good job with what we included. So another massive part of UKG is the vocals, whether it's the vocal chops, a pre-drop vocal, kind of an anthem vocal. We included a ton of different styles of vocals. Here are a lot of these kind of dub one-shots that come in the UKG Volume 1 pack.
Yo, DJ, spin that shit back. Hey, yo, spin the shit.
Super sick, and then tons of chops as well, as these are a big part of the UKG sound. Let's throw in a vocal chop here. That one's sick. These are also super sick for that more melodic style of UKG. Super nice to have. Maybe pitch it down a little bit. Super sick to have. And then we, of course, also included this UK Garage vocal pack as a bonus. Tons of more loops in here, tons of more chops, tons of vocal effects that are super sick. And you can even throw these on, you know, like your downbeat. Super sick to have. Turn it down, maybe pitch it down a little. So we can find maybe a little pre-drop vocal here. Maybe pitch it down to fit the pitch down vocals there. And you can always make your own chops with these vocals too, make them kind of like blend whatever pre-drop vocal that you might have. So here we have a drum fill folder. Once again, drum fill is a very important part of this genre, so we included a bunch of long, medium, and short ones. Short ones are kind of like quarter bar fills. And then we have like 1 bar fills. Super sick. And then long, which are 2 bars, I believe. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's a quarter bar, half bar, and full bar. So for this, we have kind of a, looks like a full bar drum fill. So let's go with a full bar. And then you can just throw these in and quickly see if they fit your track, you know? This one might be sick. Let's go ahead and process these a little bit too. Throw in some side chain just to clean it up a little bit. Throw a little transient shaper on the drums. KHS has really good transient shaper for free. I love it. Just kind of gives you a little bit of extra attack on your drums. And still a little bit of reverb on these vocal chops too. Yeah, tons of very, very clean drum fills in here. I love these things. So we also included a ton of buildups that are all stemmed, once again, similar to the drum loops. These are a bunch of different buildups. You can go through all these kind of full master renders, pick which one might fit your track the best, and then throw in all the stems to kind of help create your own buildups a little bit faster. Great way, again, to kind of speed up your workflow, kind of spark some ideas, and help you kind of pick and pull what might fit the track you're working on. Let's look over some of these drum fills here, see which one might fit best. And a cool thing that I like to do with these is, since we have these master bounces, you can kind of quickly check, like, okay, which one's gonna fit my track the best. So this one kind of sounds sick, so you can then pull all the different stems from that. Same way we do with the drum loops. This one is 7. And then what's cool too here is, once again, you can kind of listen to these masters. Maybe you find like a synth or a riser in one of these that you like and want to use it in your track. You have all the stems from it. So then we can find if we go into the FX, we can go to Buildup 13, grab the effect from that buildup, and then we have even more effects to play with. Like that, we're getting like a really cool idea going. Obviously it would need a lot of polishing, but it's sick to just be able to throw these ideas quickly together. So then going back to our MIDI pack, we included all those intro melody loops that I talked about, those kind of intro melody kits. And we can go through these and try to find one that might fit our track. And so if you ever have issues kind of trying to find a melody or a loop that fits with your track, a little trick that I like to use sometimes, I'll pull in the master loop here and I'll play it over my bass. And even though it's gonna sound muddy and weird and bad, it kind of gives you an idea of like, is this gonna fit? Is the vibe of this? Because even though that your key, you might be in the same key, you might be in the same scale, just the vibe might not be right. So it's an easy way to kind of hack to figure out what's gonna actually fit the drop that you have built out. And that was actually sick. So let's go find the stems to this. So this is 10. We can go in here and you see you have all the MIDI and all the stems. And that's super sick, but say there's a sound that you want to replace, you can then pull the MIDI from this melody. And it's super nice to just kind of use the idea, find something that works, pull the MIDI out, change up the sound, change up the MIDI, change the melody a little bit, make it fit whatever track you're working on. It's just, once again, these are the building blocks to get ideas going and make it easier to kind of put out tunes and finish records and give you all the different pieces for all the different sections of the record that you need. And so I think this needs a little something. So let's go look through more and see if any of these have something that I could put on top of this and make it a little bit more full. So both 13 and 14 kind of have a cool piece to them. I really like this little vocal chop. And we could even maybe pitch it down a whole octave. This is a really cool sound as well. Doesn't really fit the dark vibe that we have, so just pull it out. But once again, you have the MIDI of these, so you can customize all of these to fit whatever track that you're working on. But now you can kind of actually start to build out a little bit of a track with all the different layers and elements that we have here, and have like a really solid idea going in a very short amount of time that then you're supposed to take and kind of create something that's signature to you and original. Let's throw these in here, make a little progression, and see what we can cook up. And actually, I do want a little bit of effects in here. Tons of dub sirens too. These dub sirens are super sick. You can throw that in there too. I'll take this and we'll copy it out. And then what we'll do is we'll just loop this little section of our melodic stuff. And here, let's half it, make it a little bit faster. And the little filter on top of this. I find that introducing kind of like some of those drop elements into your build-up kind of makes it transition a little bit easier. So we'll start with like a super high pass filter here, have it slowly come in, and then we'll cut this last bit during the pre-drop. Now that I'm hearing this here, I don't like this pitch down. Actually, you know what? I don't like that vocal chop. Let's change it. Typically, to make it fit, you kind of just create a chop with these. It's not super hard to create these little chops with your vocals. Take like kind of a key part here. And then yeah, you have a much more natural flow using the same vocal from your pre-drop. Then just take the vocal, throw it in here. It's nice to have your vocal kind of playing to blend your intros and drops together. So we'll just throw it in there where it sees fit, and then maybe add a little bit of reverb and delay to these as well. Delay in there. And then I don't want this automation to be on all the time, only in this kind of like intro bit. So I'm literally just gonna turn off the delay. Actually, I might leave it on. Super sick, and obviously it needs a lot of like touch-ups and needs a lot of work to get it final, but just giving you a great example of the range of sounds we covered, the range of styles, showing you that we literally have tools for every single part of a UKG record to finish a full record. But yeah, no, but this pack is insane, and we included this same stuff for all the different styles as well. So whether you're working on that 4x4 more melodic, or that Notion style, or whatever style of UKG you're working on, we included so much stuff. The quality of everything in this pack is super high, absolutely no filler content, and yeah, it's definitely one of the most comprehensive suites we've put out to date. If you guys want more tutorials in any of the different subgenres or styles of UKG, let me know. Let us know what artists you want to see tutorials like in that style, or any specific parts of UKG. Let us know in the comments, and I got you. But yeah, go grab the pack. It is out now exclusively on Kulture Samples website. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and go make some UKG records.